So my name is Michael Taylor. I went to Pilton School, and my sport is triathlon, more specifically para-triathlon, and I've been able to compete internationally, and I'm hoping to try and get to the Paralympics this year, or if it doesn't happen, in Paris in 2024, so fingers crossed for that. I was always quite sporty at school, and did like all the sports like rugby, football and swimming and etc, and enjoyed doing all of the school clubs. But then I lost my leg in 2016, so I wasn't able to do a lot of the sports I used to do anymore, which is when I got into triathlon. I saw it on the TV because it was the year the Paralympics was on, and I saw the Brownies and everyone competing, and I just thought it looked like a good fun sport to do. And I had been previously in like cycling a little bit, and I used to do a lot of swimming, and it just seemed like a good challenge to do. My experience at school, I quite enjoyed it. I didn't particularly like English or some of those more like essay writing heavy subjects. I found like YouTube videos really helpful, and just like, I guess, just ask for help if you need it. And that's the main thing, if like you're struggling, just make sure you ask someone for some help, because I'd be more than happy to help you. So I went to uni, so after I finished school I went on to Petrock, and then I went to uni in Cardiff, where I did physiotherapy, which was quite relevant to me because obviously it's quite useful for like sports, and it's quite interesting, and it was a good place to try and further my sports, because there was a triathlon centre in Wales, the Centre for Wales, based up in the Cardiff Met, where they have which is a university, like a sports specific university in Cardiff, and they have some really good facilities. That they have their own pool, they have a track, and they have like a really good world class gym. So that was really helpful, because it meant I was like training alongside quality athletes who'd been competing in triathlon and other sports like to really high levels. So it was quite inspirational to try and train alongside them and trying to attain what some of them had achieved. Like I said, I've been quite fortunate to I've gone to quite a few different countries all over Europe to race. So for example, prior to the pandemic, I've been to like France, Spain, Switzerland, and also like I was lucky to do one in Canada. So yeah, I did a race in Turkey at the end of 2019, and that was a World Cup race, and I came second in that. So that was I was pretty happy with that, because I beat a few people that I probably wasn't expected to, and I didn't really expect to. So it was good just to show like how much I progressed over the few years. So I've had a lot of support. It's been really helpful, like at school. The teachers were really always, I thought it was really good. They had good sports teams, and they always made the effort to like get us to to drive us around to different areas. And we had like gifted and talented days, so we were able to go up to Bath Uni and check out the facilities up there and meet some sort of athletes up there. So that was really helpful, and it just meant everyone was on the same sort of frame of mind. So a lot of my friends are also like quite sporty, and they like to come out and do go, like particularly last year when we couldn't really do much. There were loads of people that wanted to come out like running and cycling, so that was nice. It's like a bit of a social, and makes the sport a bit more enjoyable because you have people to share it with. British Triathlon, obviously with the success they had in London and Rio in 2016, they had quite a lot of funding from, obviously because the Brownies did so well, and so they had quite a lot of funding. So I was able to get support quite early on. So in Wales, I was able to get support with training and got a coach up there, and then that's like progressed each year. So I've got like an S&C coach at the moment, but obviously the gyms are shut, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, I have like a personal coach who puts I have like an app which you can put everything on the app of what to do and how to do it, and then I can speak to her regularly. And yeah, so that's really good. And then obviously just like friends and family, they've always been very supportive and like pushing me on and encouraging me to do things. So yeah, so I've had a lot of support all through, from school through university, and then obviously to now. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasise what I said prior like don't be afraid to ask for help if you're struggling with anything or you feel like you need some help, because people are only going to say no, or they'll probably really want to help you anyway. As I mentioned, my like main goal is to try and get to Paralympics at some point, whether it be this year or maybe in Paris. So fingers crossed that happens. So the main barriers for that so far have obviously been the pandemic, and then just trying to like get fit enough really, and just trying to and initially like it's quite expensive to triathlon. It's quite an expensive sport, so it's a bit niche. So that was a bit like difficult to try and get bikes and get to races and get to those things. But with the support of British Triathlon, and there's also I had some help from a company called a charity called Sports Aid, and they're really helpful because you can apply to them if you're quite high up in sport or if you're developing along well in sport, and they can help you out with like grants and funding. If you want to do a career in sport, maybe keep something on the back burner as well. So don't forget about your like academic studies, because that's quite useful to fall back on. And also when you're like injured or you can't do anything, it's quite nice to have something on the side that you can do, something to keep you occupied whilst you're working. And also with sport, it's like I find it's really helpful if you have like a group around you that do similar things or have similar interests. So try and surround yourself with like positive people that can encourage you or you can train with and that can help you out. Try and find like a good like sort of group to train with, or a good like team, or so just find a team you're comfortable with a good coach. And then just don't be afraid to ask for help, or if you need any support, or let someone know if you're struggling or finding something difficult.